Okay, I'm gonna take it for a test drive. I'm a little nervous and excited at the same time. So this is after. Hey YouTube, this video, as you can see, I'm gonna be upgrading my suspension to the Bilstein B16 coilover. I got the sports version, and main reason I got this is because I wanted to keep the factory PASM Damptronic electronic suspension, the sports and normal settings. So here's the factory suspension and the clearance on the fender. So plan to lower it maybe just about an inch or so, and I already measured the distance from the center of the hub to the fender. Another way you can measure the ride height from the underneath the car. Well, I also did that. That's a little more accurate, but also at the same time, I got some other little pieces you see here. The other reason I got these Bilstein, I think, the real reason I got this kit is because of forums and friends like Jay getting the Attractive, and of course I can't afford those. And originally I just wanted lowering springs and be done with, but ended up getting something a little bit better, and then don't want to have to redo the installation again. The factory spring rate on the turbo is on the soft side for street use. So these Bilstein are a little bit stiffer, but the damper should still make it where it's not too harsh on the street, and you can swap out the springs and go a little bit softer or stiffer. So I'm going to start undoing the front sway bar end links. So actually I'm going to start by undoing the these two wiring connector. Okay, I'm going to need a Allen hex to hold it in place. So actually I'm going to remove the brake caliper. So I got the bracket off and the connector, the wire connector disconnected, and I'm going to probably put a bucket to hold the caliper or hang it here. So as you can see, I got the brake caliper suspended by this wire, and make sure it's not pulling on this brake line, and the bracket is free because there's a solid hydraulic line that attached to it. So I got the sway bar end link, the two bolts top and bottom removed. Okay, next I'm remove this bolt that holds the strut to the wheel carrier. So I got this bolt removed. Okay, next I gotta loosen this bolt the lower control arm, so that this can swing down. So I'm just gonna loosen it. Also, because this is a four-wheel drive, I'm gonna have to decide. I got a few options. I can remove the lower ball joint so this can swing out, or this axle nut, or the 6 hex bolts to the CV. I'm leaning towards just removing this axle nut. It is pretty tight, 340 foot-pound. But I do have a impact wrench that should do it. So I'm going to remove the 3 strut top bolts. I'm going to remove these covers. So these 3 bolts I'm removing. I suppose you can mark the location for camber, but I'm going to get the car aligned, and I'm going to go with the maximum camber allowed anyway, but without the camber turret top mounts. Okay, I got the PASM connector disconnected. So I got the top bolts removed. As you could see, it's loose, and I can turn it from the it's loose from here. Now the trick is for this to swing out enough to clear the fender and where I can lift the strut off. I got because of the four-wheel drive, again, I'm debating whether to remove this axle nut or the lower control arm ball joints, or the 6 hex screws there. I don't really want to mess with that, so I'm down to axle nut or the lower ball joint. So I decided I'm going to remove this lower control arm ball joint. As you could see, the only thing I don't like about doing this is you'll need a ball joint separator or a brass hammer or something to pound this out, because it is on there pretty tight.
Two hours later.
So I'm going to remove the axle nut. I'm having trouble removing the lower ball joint, and I don't want to damage the boot. So here, let's see. This is on 3. There we go.
A few moments later.
Try it without the extension. Finally. So without the extension, made a difference. Okay, brass hammer again. Okay, I got the top bolts off. I'm going to see if I can swing it out now. So it's really close to the fender. So let's see. Okay, got another inch. So really close. I don't want to scratch this. So okay, battery's low on my light. I may compress this a little bit to give me that precious inch. I have a spring compressor. Okay, I think I can get it. Just got to push it down and be careful. So I think I have just enough room without scratching the fender. Okay, I'm able to swing it out. That's a good sign. And now I should be able to just twist this off, lift it up. And probably good to put a jack underneath, support some of this weight.
A few moments later.
Okay, just gotta support some of this weight now. So I got the strut out, as you could see. So I think removing the CV axle is easier than trying to deal with that ball joint. Okay, next I'm gonna transfer the stock shock mount, the top plate, to here. So you do have to reuse the stock top mount. Probably a good idea to replace it, which I've done recently. And then same with the needle bearing that's here and this rubber piece. I ordered a new one. So I'm gonna go ahead remove this and have a special socket again, so I don't have to because of this PASM wire. Use a spring compressor plate safe. Okay, I got the tension. So this thing is spinning freely now. It's not too much tension, but better safe. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfer parts from here to here. And then I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, gotta remember to order this came out. And then this, there's an orientation, you gotta pay attention, there's an arrow. And it says RE. And then, so here's the needle bearing. And probably a good idea to replace it again. I replaced this not too long ago. Here's the rubber part, which actually looks pretty good, but I bought a new one. There's also this little washer that's there. If you take it out, don't forget to put it back. I did that mistake before. So this goes on top. There's one there now, but it's concave, so you can see there. The factory strut comes with left and right version. These coilover, they look identical. So I'm gonna just inspect the needle bearing and maybe put some grease. Okay, just make sure you get the orientation right. There's a white line here. I'm not sure what that means. So it should go like this, and then make sure this is. So it should face arrow towards the front. This is on the right, and then this goes on the inside. Okay, next I gotta run the wire for the PASM. So I'm just gonna follow these two lines here and go through the grommet that goes inside and zip tie it. So I'm gonna run the wire through that grommet that you see up there. Oh, my finger's in the way, right there. Just enough room. Now I gotta get the CV axle in.
A few moments later.
Okay, I finally got it in. Took a while. This didn't slide in very well. I had to persuade it by using a brass hammer and prying it open with a pry bar and slowly pound it in, as you saw. So now I'm just going to put everything back. One thing to note when tightening the lower control arm bolt, you do want to suspend it, or as you see here, have a jack so that it's at the right height before I tighten it, so you don't damage the rubber grommet, or the rubber bushing rather. Okay, I got one side done. Here's the wire that I zip tie and went through the opening there. There's the sway bar end link. Make sure you put it in the right way. There's a instruction that shows the picture, how it's oriented. As you can see, that's what the diagram shows.
One eternity later. So
just an update on the sway bar end link for the front. I had it wrong a couple times, and well, it's confusing from the instructions, not very clear, and the forums are also very confusing. So I emailed Bilstein, and I finally got it right. And I'll show you a picture of what I was told to do in the email from Bilstein. Okay, I think this is finally the correct way you're supposed to install the end links. I was confused. So this is it is labeled R. I'm on the passenger side, and there should be a curve here. This is the newer version, as you see here. And originally I had it similar, but I had the wrong side, and then I had it coming from this side when it should be coming from, as you see here, from the inboard side. So this is how it should be. I emailed Bilstein, and they confirmed it. Let me show you the movement. Okay, I'm going to turn it, and you'll see this is how it should be, so that the end link doesn't break off like some of the earlier version, and also from improper installation, I guess. So here's the driver side after I corrected it per the email to Bilstein. So again, this is on the inboard. The offset angle is on the top here, so it gives it the clearance, I guess. And I'll do a rotation. You can see what it looks like. So turning the wheel towards the right next, and then straight towards the left. Move this here. Okay. So I got the car aligned. This is what the ride height clearance fender looks like. I lowered it, I guess, around an inch keep in mind the Bilstein, you have a limited range that you could adjust the height that's recommended. The adjustment allows for a lot more, but you're only allowed 20 to 30 millimeter from what that is designed for. First impression is good. The spring is a little bit firmer, but it's not harsh, so I'm happy with it. And so if you like this type of video and made it this far, please like and subscribe. I'm close to 1,000 subscribers. Not a lot, but it's a lot to me. So thanks.